Well, I'm back live here. Running a little bit late, actually. Tell you what, let me fix my screen here a little bit. My camera, I'm gonna have to clean my camera a little bit. See if that's not a little bit better. Oh me. I'm back up here at the shop, back from vacation. Barbara and I took a little small mini vacation. Just scratched my knee up here. I mean, I'm wearing Bermuda shorts today. I don't usually wear Bermuda shorts, and I scratched my knee. I scratched my knee on some metal up here. I got it on this work table, and I scratched my knee. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Yeah, yeah. I've had a good week. Yeah, yeah. Except I kind of scratched my knee here a little bit. Uh, I but if I'd been live, then you'd heard me go, "Ouch!" Yeah, because as you can hear there, I got some metal underneath my table there. I, I I set the laptop up on a work table here, and I just scooted up to it, and there was some metal. I guess Jim had been cutting some things out. Jim has some scrap metal underneath here that he uses at different time, and I kind of cut my knee a little bit. Yeah, I know. I guess I'll have to put in for workman's comp, won't I? Yeah, I probably won't be able to work any this week. Oh, me. Hey, James, how are you? Still driving those trucks for Walmart, are you? Well, that's great. That's great. That's a good job. If I was out independently driving, I guess Walmart would probably uh, be as good as any. I think the benefits are good, and from what I understand, I've talked to a few of the guys, and they really liked their job, what they were doing. So that's probably as good as any out there for a big corporate world. Of course, I'm glad after going on a vacation this past week and getting in and out of the traffic again, and kind of going up through some of my old areas up toward Knoxville, Tennessee, and everything. We vacationed in Cherokee, and then we went over to Gatlinburg and uh, Pigeon Forge. Uh, so we went over there, and we're I'm not a big fan of driving on interstate like I used to be. It's a whole different world out there. Hey, Zach, how are you? How is it down under? It's hot up here in the Carolinas. I think it's hot all over the United States right now. Yesterday's heat index was over 100. That's Fahrenheit for Zach. Zach works off of Celsius, but that was very, very hot, very, very hot yesterday, and uh, we we're experiencing a very dry spell here in the Carolinas. We haven't had any substantial rain. We had about a quarter inch of rain the other night, and that's the first little bit of rain we've had in several weeks. And we're in a dry spell here. We desperately need some rain here in the Carolinas. Or at least the western part of the Carolinas. I think the eastern part of the state has gotten some rain, but we haven't had any substantial rain in several weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So we're kind of roasting out here with all the heat and all the humidity and everything. It's very uncomfortable right now. It's hotter here in the shop than it's been in a long time. Usually, the shop's insulated pretty good, and it's not too bad in the summertime. Jim cracks the doors a little bit and then puts on the fan, and that's usually all we have to do here. But it's it's something else. Yeah. Well, how is the weather down there in Australia, Zach? Is so you're just coming. Well, you're in the middle. You're in, I guess, in the middle of winter down there, aren't you? So it's winter time for you, where it's hot summer for us, and entirely different situation. Yeah, I'd like to have some good slow rains. What I'd like to have, I'd like to have 2 or 3 rainy days to kind of get things back in order. Because right now the grass is crispy feeling when you cut it and mow it and walk on it and everything. I'm letting mine get out there a little bit because I don't want to overcut it when it's so dry like this. I think that burdens the grass, so I kind of let it go a little bit. So I'm not in the mood of uh, overcutting the grass. So I can let it go a little bit. I do have to, I do need to get out and bush hog though. I got a field that I was letting a guy get the hay off of it, and he's not done it the last couple of cuttings, and so I'm gonna have to get out and bush hog it myself so it doesn't get unruly out there. So right now I've got to do some bush hogging and that sort of stuff. Well, what's going on with everybody? Everybody happy with the way that the economy's going and everything else? I'm uh, I'm kind of just sitting back and watching everything, and hopefully everything I kind of clear itself out. Uh, I know these tariffs and everything uh, are scaring a lot of people. Some of these tariffs on steel and some of the other products, it's got some things kind of in turmoil, I guess. But Trump seems to be negotiating pretty good with a lot of different nations, and I don't know. Oh yeah, well, no, to bush hog, I got my big tractor. I got my big Coyote tractor. It's got that big 10-foot bush hog on the back, and it's air conditioned cab and everything. There's some areas that I use the Bobcat. I get out there when I do some brush cutting and everything. When I get into some heavy stuff that's got a lot of tree overgrowth and everything, I use that. You're cold and wet, are you, Zach? Oh wow, yeah, yep. I'd have to get used to driving on the right hand side of the. Uh, in Australia, y'all have got your steering wheel on the right side uh, of the cab, haven't you? And we drive with our steering wheels are on the left, so I'd have to learn how to drive the English style, I guess. I guess the English people's the ones that ruined that for Australia. I've seen a couple trucks. I was when I was buying some Freightliner trucks, I saw some cab over trucks. I looked at them. I said, "Man, they look interesting." And I jumped up in them, and the steering wheel was on the right. And I said, "Where in the heck are these going?" They said, "To Australia." Well, good morning, Tanker Monkey. I hadn't seen you in here a lot. Yeah, I haven't seen you chat in a long time. Glad to see you back. Yeah, uh, like I said, I took a little small mini vacation. Barbara and I had we had a good deal with my insurance, one of my insurance companies, life insurance companies. They had an offer to be able to get some nice rooms at Harrah's at Cherokee at a reduced rate, and plus they had some sort of uh, thing. Well, when we got up there, they gave us. I got a subsidized room. I got the rooms for $75 a night, which was great, and the real nice rooms and nice hotel at Harrah's. One the newest hotel they have built up there on the big Harrah's complex, which extends about a half a mile. It's huge, uh, but they built a huge new high rise, and we stayed in it. And uh, then they gave us $25 tickets to gamble on. So we had that we automatically had $50 to gamble right away. And then they gave us some blankets, some leather wrapped blankets with Woodmen of the World's logo on it. And that and that was for going to see the play Unto These Hills, the Cherokee play. And I'd seen that a couple of years ago, but Barbara and I said, well, that's great. We'll go see that. And then they gave us some other amenities out there. And plus we took the $50 and we gambled it and everything. And I won 91. So I didn't have to use any of my money and was able to win $91 on some slot machines. So we came out pretty good. We were happy with that, had fun. And of course, I was smart enough to stop when all the free money that I had ran out. I quit, and I ended up being $91 to the good, and I thought that was pretty great. And so we enjoyed that, and like I said, quit. You know, a lot of people would have took their winnings and stuck it back into slot machines. It's what they want you to do, and then kind of get suckered into that. But I came out $91 to the good, so I said, "Hey, that's it. I'm not putting any of my money into the machines. I'll use your money and put it into machines and get $91. I loved that, and I did that and enjoyed that. And then Barbara and I, one day we drove over to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, and we ate lunch over there and kind of just rode around, didn't stop. Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg is wall to wall people and shops, and I mean it's a tourist town. It is a tourist town. I'm not huge into that, but we rode through and everything. And the ride over from Cherokee, if anybody's never done that, they need to do it. That is a nice curvy, slow road going between Gatlinburg and Cherokee. It's only like 37 miles, I think, but it is the curviest 37 miles you'll ever drive on. It's up in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and you can I guarantee that you'll never see probably a curvier road. I think. I mean, that's the curviest roads I know. And like they even got some switchbacks that go completely around and everything going up the mountain. And like I said, it's mountainous and it's pretty. It's very pretty. There's some scenic overlooks. You can stop and pull your car over and look over in the mountains and everything. And it's as pretty as it can get. I love the Great Smoky Mountains. I think it's a beautiful place to be. I'm fortunate that I live so close to that I can go up there and see that. And it was really, really pretty, and happy we got to see that. But we had a great time. We had a great time, a good mini vacation. Barbara and I needed to do that occasionally and just get away and enjoy our life. And I'm too old to do some of the attraction type things. I don't walk. I run out of breath real easy, as I tell y'all here on the podcast. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't stop at any of the attractions. Hey, Chris, how are you? Uh, I saw Chris was showing on his podcast the other day about a tractor trailer, some guy that pulls his cars and everything. The clutch went out on his tractor trailer. You needed this lift system like I got right here. I got here in the shop beside me. Let me turn it. Let me see. You need that lift system right there. You can take a tractor trailer truck up, drop the transmission, put a new clutch in without having to crawl under and lay down underneath something there. That's what you need. That's what we used to use to get clutches and transmissions out with all the time. Get our tractor trailers up, then you can stand up there and you're right underneath it, standing up. You're not having to lay down on your belly. And then plus I've got a transmission jack over here. Jack Jim has that. We got it in here somewhere, but we got a transmission jack that hydraulically will let that down. That's the way to pull a transmission out of a tractor trailer truck, Chris. And I saw you talking about that. I was, yeah, gone are the days that I want to do laying on your back and blocking these things up and dropping them down. And you've got to have a good size transmission jack to do that without any problem. Yeah. You need you a transmission jack, even if you get a smaller one that you roll around. I mean, we got one, like I said, it's hydraulic, and we can stand our transmission jack. We can actually lift it. I mean, it's up high enough that we can lift it up and take it out while it's elevated and everything, and which makes it fantastic. Whereas so many have to have the smaller ones, the floor level, that you lift them up and then slide it and move around and everything. I mean, it's a world of difference. We could do a clutch job really quick with a tractor trailer truck. I would imagine Larry and Jim have actually probably put a clutch in one, in one day if we have all the parts. Because I mean, just getting it up and getting it out and back in and getting adjusted. Oh, I know it. Well, and that's the problem. I mean, you can't warranty that work, Chris, because you're looking at, gosh, I don't know what a clutch job costs nowadays. I know, I'm trying to think. I think my cost on a clutch on a tractor trailer truck was probably, I want to say, in the neighborhood of $1,500. It's what the cost of the clutch. I don't know, maybe less, but you figure all the labor and everything. The labor's the big cost on that. The labor it takes to take that transmission out and put, and you got to make sure we used to have to, turn your flywheel and everything too. Have to take your flywheel off and all that, make sure it's good. And, it could be, you just said it, flywheel wheel surfacing and all that. Yeah. 125 an hour plus parts wouldn't have been, that wouldn't have been bad at all. I mean, it's, and even then, like I said, if something goes wrong and he's going to make you replace it or whatever, then you'd be out a lot of time and money there. Yeah. Have you, did you check the price on the clutch? What's a clutch going on one like? Usually, of course, we used to put in new ones. I didn't have much luck. I mean, sometimes we'd put some reman clutches in, but I was always getting new clutches and everything because I just didn't, with my business that I was in, I didn't take the chance on a reman. A reman could, they always said it was guaranteed and everything, but it was just tough. Well, James, I tell you what, I think it's tough to have your own authority nowadays with all the insurance problems and everything. The cost of insurance. My wife and I, as we were traveling up and down the road, we passed some Amazons, and I told her, I said, "Wouldn't you like to be back in the Amazon business?" She said, "No way." No way would we want to have that and have our own authority and mess with all that. The paperwork and, you know, keeping up with everything, plus and just the insurance. The insurance scam out there on tractor trailer trucks. I mean, you're looking at a you're looking at a, a, a terrible way of trying to make a living, you might say. Uh, I just I wouldn't want to do it. I would not want to do it at all. It's just too tough. 28,000 a year progressive for one truck. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And see, I had a good track record. I was able to start out with progressive at 10,000. Well, it was about 10,000 a truck. And I had 3 trucks on with them, I think, 3 or 4. And then, that's 35, 40,000. And, that's money right out of your pocket to begin with. Then plus the cost of tags at $1,800 a piece. And then your heavy use tax, $550 a year. You got to pay that each July. And then, and that's before you even hit the road. And that's not counting the cost of anything on your truck. And nowadays you got your electronic logs you got to maintain. And it is a hassle. The trucking business is not an easy business to have at all. Now, I would not have any tractor trailer trucks at all if I couldn't do it through my farm. I've got 2 tractor trailer trucks that I have on my farm tags. And so I've got farm tags and I'm able to get reasonable insurance. My insurance is real cheap in comparison to anything else. I think I pay $1,500 a year for farm tag insurance. Of course, now I'm not hauling any commodities for anybody else. All I'm doing is using my equipment for what I need, like haul a tractor or a bobcat or something from somewhere to back and forth on the farm. I can haul, supplies or whatever I need. If I need gravel or anything, I can haul a tractor trailer load of gravel down here. I've got a dump trailer that I can hook to my tractor trailer truck, and I can get a good load of gravel and stuff like that and pull or whatever I need. I can get things like that without being in commercial use and use it just for my farm and get away with the farm tag. And that's the only reason I still, I kept a couple trucks because I like having the capability of a strong truck. And, if I'm going to pull something heavy and things like that, I don't want to wear out my Dodge pickup. I mean, I can put my gooseneck on. I've got my gooseneck. I got 3 gooseneck trailers, and I can use them to haul equipment. And I can either use it as a gooseneck, or I can put the fifth wheel attachment on there. And I've got the fifth wheel attachment on all 3 of my goosenecks. So if I want to use it with my tractor trailer truck, I just put the fifth wheel attachment on the pin mechanism, and instead of the gooseneck part, and then I just use it as a tractor trailer truck, and that works out really good for me because the adapter is only, well, I'm looking at it right now. The adapter was only like $300 or $400, and I can move it from trailer to trailer. I'm never going to be using more than one at a time. I may have 2, but I don't think I would ever really need to use it 2 trucks. But not unless me and Jim are doing something really big, which I don't expect to do. Yeah. Yeah. Insurance is a ripoff. It's, well, I guess what has got it in such bad situation is the fact that everybody's in a sue mode out there. I mean, they'll sue you for anything. And so the general public uh, is just driven the cost up tremendously on the commercial end of it. And you think about it, if you're in a little bump up with any kind of car or truck nowadays, you're looking thousands of dollars. And if you're in a tractor trailer truck, they're going to sue you for everything you're worth. I mean, they are going to literally sue you beyond existence if they can, if you're in an accident with a car out there. I mean, I know from personal situations myself, what happened with some of my FedEx trucks, minor little bump ups, things that wouldn't even under normal circumstances be litigated in any way. They turn into major litigation because, I mean, if you breathe on a car almost or just barely bump something, you're going to have people calling, oh, my neck, my back, all kinds of stuff. I got into that. I had a doctor. I had a doctor that sued us for one of my trucks that it stopped it. It got the lady driver ran into the back of a pickup that when traffic got all of a sudden went to a complete halt real sudden like, and she couldn't get stopped quick enough. And she slid into this pickup truck, hit it in the bumper, and it bumped another one in front of it. And this guy got out, and everybody's fine. Nobody needed to go to the hospital. No ambulance came out. The bumper on my truck, well, and actually the truck, I still have it. That's one of the trucks I kept. The bumper is still bent, just like it was bent in that wreck. Just a small dent in my bumper. But I had a multi-million-dollar claim against me for that accident. Multi-million-dollar claim. And I don't know what they ever settled. I mean, I wanted to take the guy to court. I was furious about it because I said, there is no way that we did any damage. I said, how in the hell did this guy, he got out, he told everybody he was fine, nothing was hurt. His truck was not hurt that bad. I don't know if there's that much damage to his Toyota pickup. And then he walked around and told everybody he was fine, all that. And then 6 months later, we get this we got flagged for I mean, and it wasn't 6 months. It was almost 2 years. He waited to the maximum amount of time. And then he had all these bills racked up, like he had gone to the doctor and done this, he did this, he couldn't work, and he claimed all this time. He wanted to be paid for all of his time away from work, which he claimed he couldn't work for 2 years. And him a doctor. This guy was a doctor, and did all these crazy things. And then he was suing us for a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And I'm thinking, boy, it's one thing to get scammed by somebody that's professional at it, but this guy was a professional doctor, and he sued us. And I think they said he must have got something out of it. I don't know what, but it was terrible. Yeah, yeah. I told my wife, I said, what I need to do is go to this guy's office when he gets back to practice and everything, and slip and fall or something in his office and sue him. I mean, that's how stupid it was. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah. Now you can farm, Chris. You can do that. I mean, you've got the acreage too. You've got a farm. You're legit, and you can farm tag a tractor trailer truck. And you don't even in North Carolina. You don't even have to have CDLs to drive it. And that's the other cool thing because so I let my CDLs expire when I had this eye damage, and I couldn't. Well, I wouldn't even pass because my eye damage was such that I didn't have good enough vision. I've got it now, and I could go back and get my CDLs, but I'm never going to work for anybody else, so I don't see any need in it. And Jim kept his because Jim uh, wanted to keep his, and just for the fact he didn't want to let it expire. So Jim still has his, and I've got, like I said, I drive my specific truck. I've got my dump truck and two tractor trailer trucks that I've got farm tags on, and it's a lot cheaper, way cheaper. Well, I mean, the farm tag, yeah, is way cheaper on a tractor trailer. Now, it's not cheaper on a regular pickup. It turns out being about the same down here. I mean, I haven't farm tagged any of my pickups because there are limitations in North Carolina for that farm tag. I mean, I can only go like 100 miles from my home. I mean, I can't go, and really, I don't. I think it's limited to just North Carolina too. I don't. I'll have to double check. I've never gone out of state with it, but I think it's just within 100 miles, and uh, you can only be. Uh, I'm lost my train of thought there. Well, like I said, in North, I can only drive in North Carolina and within 100 miles of my farm. So that's where that's the gray areas. But I mean, for me, that's generally speaking, that's all I ever do. I never go that far away from uh, anything. I mean, if I have to take my tractor up to the tractor place, it's only about 15 miles from here. So, but it'll save me 150, $200 for having somebody else come do it. So that's it. And just like I said, getting gravel. If I want to go use my dump truck and go down to the pit and the gravel pit and get some gravel and things like that for something. I can get that easily and not have to hire somebody to do that. And it is what it is on that. I'm pretty happy with it. What's okay? What's the important message? Okay, real ID. Oh yeah, yeah. My wife has applied for her real ID. I don't need it. I'm never traveling. I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't know. I'm not getting mine. I don't need a real ID unless it comes down to you can't vote or something. I'm not worried about it. Uh, I'm not. I don't see the need for me personally to get a real ID, so I'm not going to worry with it. Yeah. What's the gist on that, James? I mean, I would imagine. I would imagine there's something in there that they get more information or something about you. I don't know. My daughter-in-law got her real ID, uh, but I don't have a passport. I've never had a passport. Never. I've only flown. It's been years since I've flown commercially. Don't plan on flying. I can't see me flying anywhere in the U.S. or abroad at all. I don't have a need for it. Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Everything's on that. That's similar to ours, Chris. Yeah, I think I can go 100 miles. Like I said, it's for farm use. Like, say if I'm going to an auction, and this would apply to you, Chris. If I'm going to an auction and I'm going to pick up uh, a bunch of equipment or whatever, I can load that on my tractor trailer truck and my flatbed and bring it back home. And I'm legal. I didn't have to hire a bunch of people for it. I'm not going to have an extra $500 or $600 or $1,000 and transportation fee, getting something back. So that's the advantage of that for me. So and I just like having it. I mean, I have the equipment. You know, the equipment's paid off. You know, it's good equipment, and it's not that I use it that much, but when I want to use it, I've done it. And I had my neighbor up here that uh, bought bought a couple of trailers, 40, 45-foot trailers, and I brought them back for him. They weren't 10 miles away, and he was very appreciative of that. And because nobody wanted to do it for him, and I did that and did it real, fairly cheap for him, and got me some fuel out of it. And I really wasn't supposed to, but our agreement was, I said, Tom, I said, if somebody stops me, that's my trailer. I bought it. He said, I understand. He said, it's yours. And, we're good with that. So, that it was those sort of situations that you can get around the, you know, the gray area, I guess you might say. So there are some gray areas there. You're on the road right now, are you, Zach? Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're up in the morning. What is it? 12, 1 o'clock in the morning for you right now, Zach. I'll check that out, James. I'll have to check that out. 11:30. Okay. 11:30. Yeah, well, that's not too late. 11:30 at night. Yeah. Well, I guess I enlighten you. I don't know if you're listening to us. I don't guess you're watching. If you're driving, you're listening to us. So I guess it's I had to keep chatting and everything so you can get the gist of what I'm saying. You won't get to see this beautiful face here. I guess you're just listening and not viewing and everything. But yeah, like I said, I guess this week I've got I'm just filled up with doctor appointments. I've got a root canal. I got this back tooth. I got to have a root canal in this week, and I got to go in for some chest X-rays Tuesday. We're still fighting this breathing problem I've had for the past few years, and still trying to see if we can come up with any solution that will help me. But we haven't gotten that yet. And I guess that's it. Barbara and I have been working on the farm and just trying to improve the farm. I mean, we just enjoy that. And I've got to do a bunch of bush hogging. I bush hogged a couple acres the other day, and I got a bunch more. I had a guy that was getting the hay off my field, and he would pull down about 100 round bales of hay each cutting. He'd get a couple of cuttings a year, and I was letting him have the hay, but he's gotten busy and couldn't do it this year. So I got a hay field out there that I need to mow. So the bad, you know, the saplings and all the other stuff doesn't take a hold of my field. I've got to get it bush hogged, so I'm gonna have to get out there and do that myself since I didn't get anybody to do it this spring. And it got to clean it up, keep it cleaned up, and looking good. And I'll find me somebody that wants free hay and get some good mowing. Oh yeah, well I on the DJing part, I did that. I didn't do it any this past week. I did it. Well, I did it Monday. That was the last day I did it. I did it Monday afternoon. I did it Sunday afternoon last Sunday, and then I did Monday afternoon. That's the last time I've DJ'd since then. And I let everybody know that I was going on vacation. A couple of them wanted me to do some things, and I told them, hey, I'm on vacation, can't do it. Well, if I were younger, I'd get some cattle, but no, I'm not going to get any cattle. Not at my age. I'm not chasing cows. Uh, that's one thing I remember doing when I was young, but I'm not chasing cows. Uh, I live, on the major highway out here, and my pasture goes all the way up to the highway. Well, I don't have it in pasture anymore out there, but we used to. And I remember as a young boy when I lived down here on the farm, Barbara and I used to have to every time her mom and dad went on vacation, it seemed like the cows got out, and I had to chase cows or find one dead in the road out there, somebody hit with a car, and that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to get involved with that. I don't want the daily uh, responsibility of cattle. So I'm not going to do that. Yep, I'm not a young buck anymore. I'm not a young buck, and uh, it doesn't. I mean, I know I could probably, with the size farm that I've got, uh, I could make some money with some cattle, and I could probably make some decent money with some cattle, but I just don't have the desire to do it. You got to have the desire to do that, and I don't have that. At 74 years old, I don't have I don't have the incentive to get out and raise cattle. I just don't. I mean, there's too many other things going on, too many other things to keep me involved. Well, guys, I'm on. It's 9:45 almost, and I'm going to get on out of here. I've got to get back and help Barbara do some cleanup, and we got some things planned for this afternoon. So I'm gonna get back and do that. I've enjoyed talking to everybody this morning. Had a good crowd in here, and y'all take care. I'll catch you later, and we'll see you next week. If you don't see me before then, I may put up a video. I've done some videos, just hadn't edited them yet. So I'll do that and let you know, let you see what I'm doing on the farm. I'll see you around.